Before taking measurements, ensure that you have the correct scale and that your document is correctly calibrated to it. If the calibration is off, your measurement will not be accurate. Revu makes it easy to establish scale in your drawing, including scale that vary across the X and Y axis or scales that require independent units. You can calibrate your document in a few different ways, but the most effective are to enter a no scale or calibrate to an unknown or acceptable measurement. On this floor plan, a scale is listed at the bottom of the page. Since that is the case, you can enter the scale in the Measurements panel. Open the Measurements panel if it's not already open, and enter the appropriate measurements under the page scale. In this case, 1/8 of an inch equals 1 foot. If you need to change the units of the measurements for any item in the scale, you can click on the drop-down options. You can also apply a scale to the page range. They are on the same scale, allowing you to choose from all pages or a specific range. If a separate vertical scale is present in the document, you can add that here as well. You can also choose from the present list based on the industry standards in both metric and imperial systems. Take a quick length measurement to ensure the scale is correct. Select the Length tool, click on the first point to measure, and then click on the second point to confirm the measurement. It should say 30 feet. However, if your document didn't have the scale shown, you can still use the Calibrate tool to set the scale from the standard or known dimension, such as the width of the door. Click Collaborate, and a dialog box appears giving you directions on how to set the scale. Dismiss it, and then navigate to the area with a known dimension, like this door, and click between the 2 points. For the Collaboration dialog box, enter the standard dimension, in this case, 3 feet. Note that you can customize the unit and precision of the scale, as well as set the page range from this menu. If you're working with a civil drawing or any other document that has a separate X and Y scale, click on the Separate Vertical Scale. This will show you 2 scales for X and Y that you can enter values separately. You can also calibrate the X and Y axis. Under the Scale section is the Measurement Properties section that you can look at in more detail in future lessons. For now, click on the arrow to minimize this section. The scale below is the Viewport section, unless a mark is selected, in which case it will be displayed lower in the panel. A viewport allows you to add alternate scales to specific areas on the drawing, such as a zoomed-in detail. Open a drawing with an insert like this, an electrical drawing. When you select this viewport in the panel, you can see it's highlighted in blue on the drawing. To turn on the highlight feature, navigate to the Measurements drop-down menu and uncheck the Highlight Viewport option. To create a new viewport, select the Add button under the Viewport list. A dialog box appears, instructing you to draw a rectangle around the desired region. Dismiss the dialog box, and then draw a rectangle around the detail insert. Enter a name of the viewport, and then set the scale accordingly. If you need a separate vertical scale or independent units, these options are also available for the viewport. A quick tip if measurements seem wrong is to check for the existing of ports in the drawing. If you did not find any old ones, you can select them and hit delete. The scale can also be edited in the thumbnail panel, as well as the bottom right and the navigation bar, so you have access to the scale whenever you need it. Setting the scale on the thumbnail panel and displaying the scale label provides you with more flexibility. Note that you can adjust the scale on local documents as you work, and the measurement will always be accurate.